Hello and welcome to Hot Money Technicals on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. This is the show which gets you a complete wrap of all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. I'm Darshan Mehta. Let's welcome our experts on the show. Joining us on the show today are Raja Venkatraman of Chart Advice, Mehul Kothari of India Nivesh, and Brijesh Bhatia of Deal Money Securities. Many thanks to all of my guests for joining me. Before we begin our discussion on the show with our guest, Yash Upadhyay is here with a chart on Interglobe Aviation. Good afternoon, Yash. What is the chart indicating?
Good afternoon, Darshan. So a sell signal is coming on Interglobe Aviation now. It has been on a phenomenal rally over the last 4 weeks. It has been consistently gaining. But what we've seen in this week and for the last 4 trading sessions for that matter is that it has seen some amount of weakness. And today as well, on the back of higher than average volumes, the stock is also down in trade. On the back of which the MACD indicator, which is in the lower panel over here, that too has given a negative crossover. What I mean from a negative crossover is that the blue line over here, which is the MACD line, that has crossed below the signal line, which means that there could be some amount of weakness coming in into Interglobe Aviation now.
Okay, so historically, Yash, whenever this shift has happened according to the MACD, what has been the historical returns?
So Darshan, over the next 20 days, the historical average tends to suggest that the down trade would have given you an average return of close to 5%.
Okay, so that's a sizable portion for Interglobe Aviation. Thanks so much for that. Raja, are you seeing a negative call? Are you seeing any negative divergences on Interglobe?
Yeah. You're absolutely right. There are negative divergences which are emerging, and towards 1400 the stock was getting stretched out, and the momentum indicators was saying that we are entering a peak out zone. Now with the trendline support also being broken on the charts, one can consider going short at current levels for a drop towards 1340 or even 1320 levels, because the stop loss is quite close at hand towards the 1400 mark, and there is a lot of downside expected. Okay,
Mehul, what's the sense that you're getting?
Yeah, the stock looks really weak from here on. There is a double top formation also, which will get confirmed once the stock breaks 1350 level. So one can sell the stock below 1350. My targets will be much deeper, like around 1250.
But not levels. Now. You wouldn't sell now?
No, below 1350.
Okay, below 1350. Brijesh, what's the sense that
I have a contra bet on that. I would look for a long around 1345, 1347. So if you look at the recent rally, and if you look at the volume, so the last week volume for a couple of weeks, the volumes were very high. And generally when the volumes are very high, the low marks are most important to break. So I think 1345, 1350 could be the good entry level to go long, and in case 1320 is broken, that view might negate. But I'm looking upside for around 1600 positionally.
Okay, so that's the view that's coming in. I think a little bit of contra view that's coming in. 3 of our analysts, in fact Yash and 2 of our analysts do indicate it's a potential downside. Brijesh is having a contra view at this point of time. 1345, 1350 is the level that he would buy in. The opposite view was coming in from Mehul, who said that he will short Bill's counter below 1350. So only time will say what happens, right? But let's begin with hot money and the first chart. Raja, this time around you have a call on NIIT Technologies. It's a buy according to you. Explain the chart and which parameter are you using?
Yeah, if you take a look at the charts, ever since the strong rise which you saw in Jan, the prices have been actually consolidating at this level. So this point of consolidation actually brought me to use this particular tool of Fibonacci levels. So if I take right from this particular zone, so September of 2018, the entire fall, it had come to a very crucial resistance zone around this 1350 mark, which is the 78.6. It's a very important number in the Fibonacci number series, and this resistance zone had actually curbed it for almost 4 months. Now what has happened is that there was a breakout witnessed the day before, and after that there was a follow through yesterday, and now the prices continue to hold above this level. Along with that, I have used the concept of Ichimoku indicators, and which clearly suggests that the positive momentum is building in this counter. And now with the overall this green line, prices are holding above this green line and also above this resistance zone. One can consider going long in this, because this is an IT stock which could now once again step into a high beta movement.
Explain this chart.
This is the Ichimoku indicator. Yeah. This is actually a cloud support, and these 2 lines are the trend lines. So it indicates a trend. So the red line is a longer term trend, the green line is a shorter term trend. So this shorter term trend is now the price have taken support over the longer term trend, and now after holding this price, the price are now steadily heading higher. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is it's a long term resistance. So So this resistance zone has also been broken. So all this put together suggests that we could expect some positive traction to the upside.
Okay, so it's at 1350 right now for rounding off. It's 1347, 1350. What
Correct.
would one do? Should they buy now?
Yeah, they can buy now because it's at the least risk zone.
Okay.
So you could buy now. Maybe you could keep a stop loss somewhere in the region of around 1320 levels, or even 13. If you want to extremely tight stop is 1340. If you want a little bit looser stop, you can keep it at 1320. The upside is towards 1420. That's the first target. And if the momentum sustains in the IT industry, then you can.
What's the time frame that you're looking at?
In the region of 7 to 10 trading sessions.
Okay, 7 to 10 trading session. Thanks so much for that, Raja. Let's start round 2 here. This time around, Raja, you're starting with a sell call this time around, and I believe it's on DABUR.
Yeah.
Let's have the chart. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the indicator that you've used?
Again, I've used the Ichimoku indicator, and what I'm finding is that the price have actually come down, and the negative indicator has actually gone below this cloud zone, and the prices are actually trading on the downside. And this is a filter line. This filter line has also come out into the clear, which says that the overall prospect of DABUR is on the weak side, and FMCG stocks are a little bit under pressure despite the markets going up. So this is a stock which one can consider as a hedge against the longs. So it's an all long market which we are seeing, but this is one stock which you can consider on the short side to hedge against your long portfolio. That's the reason. And combining with this is, again, I've used the ADX DMI. If you can expand the ADX DMI, you will see that the negative line is actually taking precedence, and this white line is the strength line. The strength line is going up, so which indicates that the bearish pressure is gaining more foothold into the price than the bullish one.
So it's at 408 right now. What should one do?
So it has actually come into the rally zone. So one could use a small stop loss around 414 to 415 as a stop loss, and look towards decline towards 390 levels.
390 level. So it's mainly a short-term trade that you're
Yeah, it's a
saying.
short-term trade. Yes, it's a short-term trade, but I expect the bearish pressure to take it down.
Okay, thanks so much for that. Brijesh, 408 DABUR at this point of time. But before we end, just a view on the market. We are at record highs, at least on the Nifty. The Sensex and Bank Nifty already trading at record highs. So, Raja, what's the sense? What should one do? Should they have caution on the markets, or is it still a bullish bet on the market, on the Nifty at least?
Correct. So Nifty on the daily charts has attempted twice to cross a key confluence zone around the 11,750 mark. So unless and until Nifty spot, I'm mentioning, unless and until we get a closing properly above 11,750 on the Nifty spot, I would wait for a pullback towards the region of the new base. Now is around 11,500. So one should look in the region of 11,500 to 550 to initiate some long. On the other hand, the Bank Nifty has been trading quite well. The RBI policy news are emerging. So if that actually favors and the move is there, you can expect almost a 1,200 to 1,500 point rise in Bank Nifty in the April series itself.